I moved into the house on Hollow Creek Road knowing it had a reputation. Locals called it cursed. Whispers of disappearances, strange lights at night, and voices echoing through the woods surrounded the place like fog. But I was desperate. The rent was cheap, and I was convinced the stories were just that, stories. The house itself was old, sagging under its own weight, with ivy clawing up the sides like fingers trying to hold it down. The floors creaked with every step, and the windows groaned when the wind pushed against them. But it was mine. Quiet, secluded, and finally a place where I could start over. The first few nights were uneventful. I unpacked, got used to the odd noises, and even started to enjoy the solitude. But on the fifth night, I began hearing something different. It started with a soft tapping. At first, I thought it was the wind or a loose shutter, but it always came from inside the walls. Tap, tap, tap. Slow, deliberate, like someone drumming their fingers in thought. I checked everywhere. Nothing. The sound would vanish the moment I got close, only to resume once I was back in bed. Then came the whispers. They began just after midnight, faint, almost like a radio playing in another room, just on the edge of hearing. I couldn't make out the words, only the tone, urgent, pleading, sometimes angry. I searched the house from attic to basement. There was no one there. No radios, no neighbors nearby. Just the cold and that constant feeling of being watched. On the seventh night, I woke up at 3:12 a.m. Exactly. My phone screen glowed with the time. I didn't know why I had woken up, but the air was heavy, like the atmosphere before a storm. I sat up, heart pounding, and that's when I saw it. A figure was standing in the hallway, tall, impossibly thin, with long arms that stretched almost to the floor. Its head was cocked slightly to the side, and though I couldn't see its eyes, I knew it was staring at me, watching. It didn't move. Neither did I. I must have sat there frozen for 10 minutes before I finally blinked, and it was gone. I tried convincing myself it was sleep paralysis, a trick of the dark. But the next morning, I found something carved into my bedroom door. Leave. Just that one word, deep gouges in the wood, as if scraped in by claws. I called the landlord. He sighed heavily and admitted I wasn't the first tenant to report strange things. Most don't last 2 weeks, he said. Some run out in the middle of the night. You've done better than most. I asked him why he didn't tear the place down. He only said, some things don't like being disturbed. I should have left then. I should have packed a bag and never looked back. But I stayed. I don't know why. Curiosity, maybe. Or pride. That night, everything changed. I set up cameras, determined to catch whatever was haunting the place. I sat in the living room with every light on, watching the screens. Hours passed with nothing. Then, just before 3 a.m., the feed on the hallway camera cut to static, and then the lights went out. The entire house was plunged into darkness. My heart raced as I reached for my flashlight, and that's when I heard the footsteps. Slow, dragging, like something pulling itself across the floor. They started upstairs, then down the stairs, and finally stopped just outside the living room door. I held my breath. The door handle began to turn. I bolted, ran through the back door into the woods. I didn't stop until I was a mile away. When I looked back, the house was still, silent, but I knew whatever was inside had let me go. For now, I returned the next day with movers. I didn't go inside, I just pointed at what needed to be packed from the lawn. The movers went in, but only one came back out. They found his partner upstairs, huddled in a corner, eyes wide open, mouth frozen in a scream. He never spoke again. The house is still there, empty, waiting. And sometimes, when the wind blows just right, you can still hear the whispers, still hear the tapping inside the walls. Some places aren't meant to be lived in, some doors should never be opened, and some houses are better left alone.